Hey guys, welcome back to Make That Sea Change. Paul here with you today. And Make That Sea Change is my site and channel aimed at everything to do with setting up your own online business. Now, along those lines, today we're going to talk about 4 tips to make your home ideal for work. Now, if you are going to set yourself up with an online business, the chances are you'll be working from home. And added to that, if you're not, but you're working from home, working, for your company or your employer, then these tips can work just as well for you. I think over COVID, we're just coming out of COVID now as I record this, but over COVID, I think it was about 65 or 70% of people were working from home. And this video and the post with it actually comes from a conversation I had a little while ago now with some people who are working from home. We were talking about how some loved it and some didn't. And some of the reasons that some didn't, I think, could have been to do with some of the stuff we're going to talk about now. So 4 tips for making your home ideal for work, making things ideal at home to get your work done. So the first one is create your space or set up a workspace. Now, the biggest problem across all of this sort of information or this area is the fact that a lot of people are trying to do work, and the ones I spoke to especially, were trying to do work around everything else. Set yourself up a workspace if you can. I work from home a lot. This here, I can't get the camera to spin it around and show you, but I'm in a little office here that I've set up with my desk. I've got my laptop, some screens, obviously the camera and the microphone. You can't see it, but on the desk here is a clutter of all sorts of stuff. Behind me, I've got some stuff. I have a fishing site as well, so I've got fishing reels and stuff like that in here that I talk about. But when I do my work, I come in here and do my work. Now, there's a couple of things that you can look at to do with that as well. Make sure that the space you look for, if you can, is light. This one faces onto the road, so I get distracted with watching cars go past and people walk past, stuff like that. That said, though, there's plenty of light. There's air in it, and I know that sounds a bit silly, but I can open that. I'll open that window once I finish this video. It's summer here, so it's a bit warm. I don't open it now because the road too noisy for videos, but some air. Set up some furniture, proper furniture if you can. I've got a little desk here and a office chair that I sit on. And make sure that you're organized with all your stuff that you need to do your work. Imagine you're taking your work cubicle home with you when you go to the office. You've got all that set out. So obviously I don't expect you to go out and spend hundreds of dollars setting yourself up, but if you can set yourself up in a clear area where you're comfortable, where you can get your work done without interrupting everything else, without everything interrupting you, and you've got conditions that are suitable for work, that's your first step, because the biggest problem again with working from home is all the distractions. Now, this is where the second point comes into establish a routine. So establishing a routine is all about when you work. One of the advantages of working from home is that you can work whenever you like. For example, this morning, my wife and I actually run a Pilates studio at this as well, as on top of me doing the online stuff. Now, she was in the studio this morning. We've got a 10-year-old. I'm recording this video at 9:40. So he gets up, we get up, he has breakfast, we get him ready for school, etc., etc., etc. He rides to school and he leaves about 8:15. So between when I get up and 8:15, I don't even try and do anything. You're just not going to get anything done. And from 8:15 to 9:15, I went for a walk. So I got out, got some fresh air, all that sort of stuff. And they're the advantages you have when you're working from home, because especially if you're in an area where you don't have to get yourself to the office by a certain time. Now I've been for my walk, I've come back, I've cooled down, and now I'm in, and I will work here now from now until at least 12 o'clock, where I'll have lunch for about half an hour, and then I'll come in here and work again till 3 o'clock till he gets home from school. So that's my routine, and that's the hours that I do there. This afternoon I've got to go to the studio and do some work in our proper business, I guess. So that's all I'll do on my online stuff today. If you are someone who works from home for a company, you might do that from 9 till 12, have lunch, and then do from maybe 1 till 5. Or you might do from 9 till 12, mess around in the afternoon, and then go and and work from 8 till midnight, whatever, depending on where it sits, but set yourself up a routine of when you do your work. Now, some of the other factors that you can look at that influence this is if you have snacks and drinks while you're there. I bring in a drink cup with me. You're trying to stop yourself being distracted. So if you're in your work block, then bring snacks in with you, bring a drink in with you. Don't have the TV on. Don't have anything else that can distract you or make you fall down a rabbit hole. Some people will talk about how they like to get dressed as if they're going to work. Look, let's face it, if I'm being honest here, it's summer at the moment and it's quite warm today. In Celsius, it's about 28 degrees already at 9:45. So we're going to get to about 30 or 31 Celsius. I'm not that, high 80s, early 90s, I think, Fahrenheit. So if I wasn't shooting video, I probably wouldn't have a shirt on. You probably don't need to hear that. But the point I'm making there is that some people like to get dressed as if they're going to work. Other people just like myself, just like to be comfortable and in working whatever keeps us comfortable. So clothing, whatever makes you comfortable. But again, setting up your routine, have everything with you, get yourself ready to go and sit down and do your work in those hours. Now, on the other side of that, when you have lunch, get yourself a space. I've written in the post a rejuvenation space. I'm not sure where I got that from, but set yourself up an area where you can relax in when you're not working, and that may be going and doing a load of laundry and then sitting out the back in the shade or in the sun for a little while, depending on the weather. Sitting out the back in the sun and having your lunch out there. Sitting on the couch and watching TV for an hour if that's what it suits. And that's one of the advantages of working from home. When you're in an office, you'd have to walk around, either eat at your desk or sit in a crowded lunchroom or go for a walk through a crowded city or whatever. At home, you can do whatever you like, as long as you're segregating those areas and try and keep yourself a rest space, a clear headspace, whatever. So it might be that nothing from anything to do with the home or work goes into that area. As I say, it could be space outside. It could be just select the couch in the lounge room. It could be the kitchen bench. Wherever you find you relax, keep that space free. And that takes us to our last one there, which is separate the home from work. Now that sort of goes back to our first one where we talked about making sure that you've got a clear space for your office. But if not, like obviously if you live you may live in an apartment where it's I can't think of the word at the moment. It's a studio apartment where you got the bed and everything in one spot. You may live in an apartment where you got one bedroom and then everything's just the kitchen and dining area. So you might be working in your living space during the day anyway. But again, if you've set yourself up that as your work area, when the work day is finished, pack it up, put it away. If you're trying to eat your dinner and all your work stuff's still on the desk, or you're trying to cook dinner and all the work stuff's on the desk, or relax or do whatever it is you need to do, then it's going to blur into one big area. If you can shut the door and leave your workspace out while it's private time, that's even better if you can separate work and your home and work. And that goes for things like doing the washing, etc. Now, to be brutally honest with you, I do go and hang washing out when I'm halfway through my work block. I do go and get something to eat from the kitchen when I'm in my work block, but that doesn't seem to affect me as much because I don't go and do other stuff. I do what I need to do and come back in, and it just sometimes gives me a chance to clear my head. But if you're someone who can easily fall down a rabbit hole, and that was one of the discussions we had, is that one of my friends was saying that she works from home, and she found that she was working till midnight every night because during the day she'd come when the kids went to school, she'd come in, she'd do her work. Oh my God, I've got to go and hang that washing out. So she'd go and do that. Then she'd fold some, and then she'd do something else, and then she'd wipe down the kitchen, and then she'd do something else, and work out she's lost 2 hours. So if you can segregate your time and keep your home and work separate, once you finish your work, you shut the door, then you can go and do all of your washing, all of that sort of stuff as you go. So they're my 4 tips and what I try and stick by properly, and what the people who said that they, who enjoyed working from home, these are some of the things that they talk about as well. So keep yourself a clear workspace, get into a routine. Once you're in that routine, make sure that you stick to it and don't fall down rabbit holes elsewhere. Set yourself up a relaxation or rejuvenation space where if you're having your lunch break or you're doing whatever, you are just there, you can relax, you can clear your head and then come back in and do your work. And finally, if at all possible, separate your work from your home. Don't let your home become where you work, as in all having work all around you all the time. Obviously, your home's where you work, but don't let it be. So as I say, don't try and sit on the couch at night to talk to your family or watch TV or scroll aimlessly through your phone or whatever you like to do at night and have all your work stuff sitting beside you, or have the kids trying to eat dinner at the table and have work stuff there as well. Try and keep that separate. If you can do those 4 things, trust me, in my experience, they're the things that if I'm struggling to get stuff done, that's what I've worked by. And again, there's people I spoke to that night, the ones who liked it, follow those rules as well. Hope that was helpful, guys. Comment below. Let me know what you do. I'd love to hear any little tips and tricks that you have to keep yourself getting your work done from home. If you like working from home, if you don't like working from home, any feedback, comment, anything, comment below. Love to hear from you. Okay, guys, thanks for that. Chat to you soon. Bye.